It's Thursday, April 24th. Tonight we'll show you how ferries on the coast help students and researchers across the state and beyond. Next on North Carolina Now.
North Carolina Now is made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.
Coastwatch on North Carolina Now is produced by UNC-TV in association with North Carolina Sea Grant. Funding for the series is provided by the Office of Extension, Engagement, and Economic Development at North Carolina State University.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mitchell Lewis in for Shannon Vickery. Thanks for joining us. Tonight on North Carolina Now, we'll show you how researchers use common ferries to collect data. Our guests tonight are candidates running for Congress. We'll talk with 11th Congressional District candidate Republican Carl Mumpower and 6th Congressional District Democrat Jay Overtor. But first, ocean research. Keeping watch on the health of North Carolina's coastal waters is a tremendous job that requires continuous monitoring. In the third installment of Coast Watch on North Carolina Now, produced in partnership with North Carolina Sea Grant, Heather Burgess explores two programs that utilize unique ways to sample and monitor water quality and research weather events. We also learn why these ocean observations are important to teachers and students across North Carolina.
What looks like an ordinary crossing over the Neuse River for this North Carolina ferry is actually a voyage of science and discovery.
Makes use of the fleet of ferries that we have in the state as automated platforms or ships of opportunity, essentially, to collect water quality data. 40
times a day, the ferry, dubbed the Floyd J. Lupton, makes the 20-minute run between Minnesota Beach and Cherry Branch near the opening of the Pamlico Sound on the North Carolina coast. What most may not know is below deck, there is some serious science taking place.
Those bottles get filled up with water from different locations along the ferry route, and it can be programmed to collect once a day, once a week.
In the engine room, you'll find sophisticated oceanographic instruments installed to sample water conditions every 3 minutes when the ferry is running. The program is called FerryMon. That's short for Ferry-based monitoring. It's the name given to the equipment stowed on board 3 North Carolina ferries that work the Pamlico Sound.
It's estimated that in Pamlico Sound itself, about 80% of the fish that are caught in the coastal mid-Atlantic spend some part of their life cycle in Pamlico Sound. So therein lies the importance and the connection to the coastal ocean. Without good water quality in Pamlico Sound, we won't have good fisheries in our coastal waters.
FerryMon is continually monitoring water quality features such as temperature, salinity, acidity, and chlorophyll. FerryMon links to an onboard computer that sends real-time data by GPS, cell phone, and internet.
So what FerryMon does is it captures all those times in between, and we've actually seen events now like certain toxic algae blooms that FerryMon was able to capture that help us explain some of the fish kills that we've seen now in the river. It's taken some of the mystery out of some of these kill events, and which allows the state agencies to make much better connections to, water quality issues that start way upstream.
We can determine how long the blooms are there, how concentrated they were actually coming in, and sometimes you can tell where they're coming from, by all that information, by the redundancy that we can have in it.
In the lab, the samples are tested for nutrients, harmful bacteria, and certain pigments. All of the information is used to better understand how environmental changes affect our coastal water over time and during certain weather events.
Every one of those changes is important for how the system works, and is important for us to understand how we are impacting the system by, say, nutrient loads that we're trying to manage and control. Versus unpredictable events or events that we can't really stop, like hurricanes and tropical storms and floods or droughts.
North Carolina is one of the first in the country to use water monitoring equipment on ferries. FerryMon got its start in 2001 With the support of North Carolina Sea Grant and the Hurricane Floyd Relief Fund, the project is now mostly funded for $300,000 a year by the General Assembly. Real-time information like that provided by FerryMon can transform a student's science lesson from fiction into fact.
To have teachers have real-time data available makes lessons more relevant for students. They can find out what's happening in the ocean, even if the teachers and the students are in Asheville. They can find out what's happening, what the temperature is on the surface of the ocean off Wrightsville Beach immediately, because there are buoys up and down the coast that are sensing these data and sending these data to a website, and teachers have access to the websites.
Those buoys are deployed by CORMP, the Coastal Ocean Research and Monitoring Program, based at the University of North Carolina at Wilmington. CORMP provides information on the internet about weather conditions that proves valuable to everyone from teachers to weather forecasters.
We also provide data that is used by a number of federal agencies. So for example, the National Weather Service uses the information that come from not only the institutional-based buoys, but also the federal buoys, and these become part of the marine forecasts.
And these are not your normal buoys, weighing close to 800 pounds and standing 13 feet tall. These ocean observers are deployed and maintained in rough sea conditions.
The buoys have a meteorological package which measures air temperature, wind speed, direction, relative humidity, and also barometric pressure. And then as we move down underneath the water, we have an acoustic Doppler current profiler, which can give you wave height, wave direction, wave period, and also current direction and speed throughout the water column.
And by using these measurements from the CORMP buoys in Wilmington or the real-time data from FerryMon on the Outer Banks, teachers and students across the state and the country can learn how they are connected to the coastal waters.
This story was produced as part of a special North Carolina Now series called Coast Watch. The series is made possible through a partnership with North Carolina Sea Grant and by a grant from North Carolina State University's Office of Extension, Engagement, and Economic Development. For more information, visit our website at unctv.org/coastwatch.